Before I dwell into the topic of the video, I would like to express that some of the things brought up in this discussion, if you want to call it that, may be a little bit over-exaggerated, and also may be controversial, but more importantly, I have absolutely no plans whatsoever to commit acts of suicide. I also do not make this to encourage anyone else to do such acts, as you may be more important than I think I am. I do feel like maybe I could do something if I went in a different path. Despite the fact that this may seem hypocritical, I may just feel different ways because of my low self-esteem and motivation. Thank you. Suicide is less of a big deal than you think. I saw a video about a story about you, presumably, killing yourself, and your family and friends care so much, well, if you have real family or friends. But even if everything in that video were true, I wouldn't give two flying shits. If it took them until I died to actually care about me, why should I care about them? The world is a fucking joke. When people stop acting retarded, that's the day I find someone who actually likes me for me, literally. And I know I may not sound like a person you would like to be friends with, but still. It's a big loop. For example, I'm insecure, I can be nice most of the time, so let's pretend you're that way too. If some people don't like you, you'll start to forget who you used to be. You'll portray yourself as a malicious jerk, even though you may not intend to be one. Then, nobody will like you, and it'll be hard to go on with your life, because this is the way you're going to roll with it, and you're probably not going to change. If you go through therapy, you won't feel it'll help, because face it, it doesn't. The type of therapy where your therapist judges the hell out of you and reminds you of all the things you hate about yourself. That's my therapy. And I don't tell anyone that I'd be better off with someone nicer and less of a judgmental thing. Dealing with that and the fact that you don't have real support is enough for me to hate my life. My life in general is pretty fucking sweet, but my emotions and insecurity fucks it up the most. My father doesn't know that, because I almost feel like he's starting to lose his brain cells. Either that or it's not easy for him to comprehend what I tell him, and it's not even easy for me to put how I feel in the right words either. That'll get me more frustrated too. My mom is a fucking piece of shit as a parent. Maybe it was deliberately the drugs that fucked her up, but whose fault is that? She obviously cared more about that than her children. I don't even want to bring up that failure any further. And I can't talk to my stepmom because everything's okay in the end. There's no real conflict. And, again, I have social issues. I'm just going to live this until I die, and nothing will matter in the end, because there are 7.7 billion people in the world, with only a 1 in 77 chance that you would make a big enough difference, and even with a lot of effort, you would have to work much harder to actually do something that's not just a waste of time. And anyone saying, well, suicide is a bigger deal than you think, I would be so sad if you died, or some shit like that. You don't even know me, and you would hardly recognize if I were dead, and even if you did, you would have to know me really well to care. Don't give me that, you have so much to live for, bullshit. I don't want to hear it. I don't have much to live for if the first 13 years of my life are going to involve me sleeping on a shitty mattress every night in a smelly room with the only purpose of waking up knowing that I'm probably not going to do anything at all. And even if I do something that I enjoy, it's hardly going to make a difference. Even in the autumn, winter, and spring, I have to spend 8 hours of my life in a dungeon forgetting about what made me happy, which will be saved for another video. I don't have any plans for college, which is understandable, but even if I do, again, it won't make a difference.